Marriage. Tough gig. Christian marriage should be easier, right? How to have a Christian marriage with Dr. Michael Hartwig with Marriage Matters Live here on The View from a Pew.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Let's get it started in here.
Welcome to The View from a Pew, a conversation among Christians who are out to grow their faith by asking the simple questions, the tough questions, and the stuff you really wish your pastor would talk about. Come on now, let's reason together. It's your voice we want to hear. The phone lines are open, so join the conversation. Call 855-244-0077. That's 855-244-0077. Now, here's your host, J. Michael McCoy.
All right, good afternoon. 4 minutes after the hour on this 22nd day of January in the Lord's year 2015. I'm J. Michael McCoy, and this is another edition of Max World Live on The View from a Pew. On The Truth, 99.3, powered by Webcast1Live.com. We've got so many, just brought to you by Jesus. You know, we got all these things we got to identify. I feel like the guy that's trying to do the information at the end of a car commercial.
Right.
And you know that's legal.
Yeah, is there any game plan that you got to get so many words out per minute?
No,
or per
but they
second?
have to say this.
They do have to say it.
Yeah, compliance says you got to say every one of these words after the deal. But they can, make it fly by.
It's the equivalent of the fine print
And
on radio.
here's what's interesting. I read an interesting article on Advertising Today the other day. They're starting to crack down on like Cialis and those. What do they call those pills?
I don't know.
Okay, the little blue pill.
Right.
Because when they are reading the disclaimer, they put questionable, sexy view on TV.
So you're not paying attention to what they're saying.
You're not really. You're kind of going, oh, really? So
I kind of wonder why you're looking at those.
The other day, I almost turned one off when I was watching TV with my 14-year-old grandson.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
What does he need to know about that? Erectile dysfunction. There it is.
You know what is interesting? I had a discussion with somebody that's dealing with senior care living.
Yeah.
And it's rampant. And they're saying that because of Cialis, Viagra, and all that's coming in, sexual diseases are now getting rampant in some of these.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like a 20-minute discussion with this guy saying, we don't know what to do. And these guys, these family members think it's cute to get them these pills. And then it's just crazy.
Well, this is probably going to be, Jill, if you're listening, this is probably TMI. Honey, if you're listening, this is probably TMI. But I have been suffering from some memory loss.
Stress-induced dementia.
I don't think so. And is that a real thing?
I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
But it sounds legit, doesn't it? I mean, I feel like whenever I get stressed out, I get...
No, and for me, I can't remember names. I'll be sitting here and I'll be looking in your eye and I'll say my co-host today is...
It's Mike Hartwig.
Yeah. And so my wife had heard that low testosterone might cause that. Have you heard that before?
I have heard that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I go into the doctor.
But that's a common thing. I mean, the forgetfulness, the short-term memory, and we're all different.
At my age?
Happens.
Well, anyway, so I go to the doctor and he gives me a testosterone shot.
He gives you a testosterone shot?
First of all, he measures my testosterone.
Oh, okay, good.
You know what a male?
Good.
You know what a male's testosterone should be?
I have no idea.
At our age, it should be about 300, 400.
Right. Okay.
Okay. At the height of our peak, it's about 700. But it should never fall below 300. Never.
And what was yours?
92.
Ooh. Oh.
So he gives me a testosterone shot.
Yeah.
You can do the pads I just said, just give it to me.
Yeah.
I want to be very delicate how I say this, but I don't want to be funny when I say this either. I started being physically very uncomfortable. I started having dreams, improper dreams about women.
Wow.
And not just my own wife. It was crazy, man. It was like I'm in the 60s again, and I take a psychedelic drug, and there's no reality there. And so I didn't get any more. I was supposed to have. I suppose it's been 5-6 weeks now, but I'm not going to have another.
It's ironic that you should say that because I started working out again after the first year. Actually, started back in November, and
really, it doesn't show.
And I know. But the first day after I'm working out, before I could have a 2-hour workout, playing racquetball, playing basketball, and go home and fill out the rest of my day. Now I'm crashing and burning. I can't figure this out. And somebody, you're 50 years old. You need to go get some drugs. They encouraged me to go to that, and I thought, that seems like a little bit over the top. So I went to the health food store, a set of vitamins that don't give you the testosterone, but it encourages your body to pick that up and stuff like that. So it seems like a little bit better approach. I felt a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
going
maybe
that route
I can go get something natural.
I'm glad you told me that though, because it's I did think about doing something and going to visit a doctor, but. Well, and go to the health food store, get some, and talk to them because they've got a whole section of this stuff because it's a common problem with 50-year-olds.
Well, and for CJ and I, who have been together a long time, she's older than I am. I can't say the age because I die.
Right.
If she'd hear it, she would wish me.
She's 30.
I just collapse.
She's 35.
Yes,
like that.
27 is what she likes.
Which she probably could pass as a 25, 25-year-old.
And we have a very healthy life in that area. But as everything else, when we're our age, it slows down.
Sure.
And now, or before, when opportunities didn't arise because of just what was going on with her, well, I was okay with it. I felt fortunate when it did.
Right.
But this time I was off gun. I was just kind of mad. I just didn't like it all how it made me feel.
Well,
it didn't respect my wife. That's what it is. It didn't respect my wife.
Well, and now I'm so excited to be able to do this marriage seminar with you because I think one of the things that you gave and really impacted the guys that were in that seminar that you came and gave your testimony on is your whole change of the physical side of your. When you shared your testimony about the change that happened to the physical side of your relationship and your perspective on it, it impacted me. Everybody in that room.
When it's the truth, the Holy Spirit has a way of making it important.
Yeah.
But and that's what we're here to talk about today. We have 2 Marriage Matters live seminars coming up, both in the month of February. The first one is at, what'd you say it was?
Living Faith.
Living Faith.
Yeah,
I never
Living
remember that. Living Faith. I got to write that down with my bone. Living Faith Lutheran.
Right.
All right. And the other one
and that's going to happen Valentine's weekend,
14th
too.
and 15th.
Right.
Friday night, Saturday till noon, 1 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Still doing the great breakfast?
Yep. They're going to do breakfast. They're going to do meal that night on Friday night.
Is it going to be good for guys?
Yeah. One thing I'm really all about is
prime rib.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
They're in charge of that. I'm in charge of what gets said from the front,
church is in charge of that?
They're in charge of the food.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And the other one is at Honey Creek.
Yeah.
And that's, 20th, 21st?
Yeah, that's the following weekend, 20th and 21st.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And that's sponsored by
First Family Church of Ankeny.
Yeah. And they also have a plant in Bondurant.
Yeah, they just started a plant.
Yeah. Jeff started it.
Yeah.
Who listens to this show. So, Jeff, if you are listening, thank you. All right.
Those are, if you want more information on either one of those, check out the church's websites. They're supposed to be broadcasting a little bit daylights out. But you asked a really important question. Is it going to be for guys? One of the things statistics show about marriage conferences, marriage, family things, those kind of things, guys are not the ones that are signing up.
Right.
And and here I'm going to put a plea out to the guys. This is Valentine's weekend. Do something nice for your spouse. Step up to the plate and initiate some action here. It'll be easy. I promise you, it's not going to be one of these, let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
No,
type. Yeah, it's going to be immensely practical and all that. So,
Mike, and don't, if you think, oh, Matt couldn't put on an interesting Mary. He can hardly do an hour that interests me. That may be correct. Mike's the one that does this. Mike and his wife and the church do this. The only part I am is I come in on Saturday morning to talk with the guys for about 45 minutes, an hour. And I talk like guys should talk to guys. Yeah. It's not for the girls. I get pretty serious.
You know, it's funny because we are constantly meeting with couples, and so I talk to, and I'm in the counseling field, you know, and all that. But I always ask people. I try to always remember asking them. So, when was the last marriage conference you went to? Blah blah blah. What do you think about him, and all that. And I'm surprised at how many times I hear something along the lines of, "Oh, it was okay, but it kind of feels like I went and heard Ken and Barbie talk about their marriage." And because you get these plasticky people up there, and they kind of share their story, and they, you know, their hair is just perfect, and you know they're. Anyway, that's not Leanne and me at all. We're gonna we share stories about the best fights, and I remember one time we were in this seminar and we actually had a fight in front of everybody.
What'd you fight about?
Well, it was,
What'd you
think
do
we
wrong?
always fight? What do you think we always fight about?
Well, you said something wrong and you embarrassed her and you made her cry.
No, guess what? The number one reason why couples fight.
You want me to be facetious or really?
No, be honest. Yeah.
Money.
What do you think? Yeah, it's always money.
And the second is kids.
Well.
No.
Well, it depends. It is always money, but money
Yeah.
is always the number one reason that people fight. But in the top five is kids playing their. They're always in the top five. Ironically, in-laws are
sure.
always in the top five.
Yeah.
Time issues, careers that they drift in and out. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But that's what Leanne and I always fight about.
Money?
Yeah, believe it or not, money. Yeah, I'm a spender. Leanne is a saver. And so,
well, then you spend your paycheck and let her save hers.
No, she wants to save mine too.
Well, that's none of her business.
Yeah. Well, no. See, I take a different perspective.
Okay.
And here I might sting you a little bit, because if you have that perspective, is I happen to believe that my money is our money, her money is our money, and our money is our money.
Well, here's the way we do it. We have a bill at the end of the month that we spend, and that is not just mortgage, principal, interest, insurance, that is groceries, that is everything. And at the end of the month, my wife figures that out because she needs to do that, so she does, and I write a check for half. And then if she needs any of my money, she can have it because she manages it. I don't take her money unless I'm just in a real.
Listen, I don't take any of her money.
Right.
It's not her money.
Well, in our household,
see what I mean?
it is.
You see what I mean?
I understand, but in our household,
if you
it
are
is.
married, two shall become one.
Well, 35 years ago.
Do you see what I mean? This is the reason why we fight all the time about money.
Okay. Well,
and you guys have figured out an amiable situation.
Well, when I met my wife, and it will be 30 years this year, she was a single mom with two kids,
right,
doing it on her own with no child support, and her money was very important to her because she was not going to lose her house. She was going to maintain her job. She was not going to be shamed. She was a very proud Norwegian woman. Mm-hmm. And so I've always respected that's just yours.
Right.
Okay? And if you'll just give me half of the money for the house and the bills, I would greatly appreciate that. And for many years, that wasn't possible on her end. And for many years, it wasn't possible on my end because our incomes shift. And I understand you not advise them to do that.
Right.
But I would also not advise the male or the female to demand that.
Oh. Well, a demand is something.
Well, but
that's
demand.
I mean, you're right, exactly.
And demanding comes two different ways. I'm sorry, dear, that's the way we're going to do it. Or it's every 3 weeks, every 3 days, every 3 minutes, every something or another. There's a smart aleck remark. Well, you're taking my money. It is really my money. That should not be those are the fights over. Yeah.
It's that's exactly right. She sees me. We just had an aha moment. I mean, this has never happened in the 32 years of marriage, and it just happened just last night. So I've got a job now, and I'm driving to West Des Moines, and I'm driving an old ratty truck.
Here, I want you to hold that.
Okay.
Because we're going to take a break, and I have a feeling I want to hear this. Because I'm going to write down on this piece of paper what the argument was about. I'll bet you anything.
It wasn't an argument. No. Okay.
Oh, well, and that's covered up, right?
Okay. All right.
And I'm not going to show it to you.
Okay.
It was an argument. All right, we're coming back. Mike Hartwig is my guest. Marriage Matters Live here on The Truth, 99.3. from the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can give these grandkids back, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We can help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah!
If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart. And it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
We've got questions. You've got the answer. Join the conversation. It's your voice we want to hear. So call 855-244-0077. Now, here's J. Michael McCoy.
21 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 22nd day of January in the Lord's year 2015. Okay, I have written down here what I thought you and your wife were talking about. And I didn't, Ryan, I didn't look at it. I didn't show it to you, right?
Okay, right.
Okay.
Okay.
So your wife was being as sweet as ever, and you were being a pain in the butt.
No, not at all. And
Okay.
I said, hey, I think we need a new truck. And for the first time ever, he said, I think you're right. I couldn't believe it. My jaw hit the ground. She didn't say we didn't need a truck. She didn't think that let's make this truck last longer. She just simply said,
Wow.
go out and look for a truck.
But she didn't mean new as in 0
Yeah,
miles.
she knew that I wouldn't. I'm not into that. I
So
mean,
if you've got a 1970s or older Ford F-150, Mike would like to buy it.
my truck has 240,000 miles on it right
Hey,
now.
Randy King,
Man.
he drives a truck. Maybe you could get his. It's hardly ever.
So what'd you
used.
write down? You didn't get that.
What does it
What'd you
say?
say? A new car. New
Yeah.
car. Yeah, well, close. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew it was.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
You don't think I know?
But it was
anything
great.
about
It was really great to be able to come
that
to the
video
point. It was
camera
just like-
in your house.
Yeah, right.
I tell you what, that's a. Thanks for letting me come in and work on your cable that day. All right, Mike's here with us because we've got 2 marriage seminars planned here in the next month. Living Faith Lutheran on Valentine's Eve, the 14th and 15th of February, and then a week later down at Honey Creek Resort, brought to you by Family First Church in Ankeny, and that's on the 20th and 21st. All right, so we get there, and we have a nice meal, and you have a wonderful presentation that I think's only like 35, 40 minutes. I mean, you're windy, but not that windy.
But I'm good.
You are good. No, I admit it. You are good.
Yeah,
and I'm not just saying that because if he wasn't good and let's back that up. Say I'm good again.
That's because I'm good.
I'm J. Michael McCoy. Thanks for listening this afternoon. That's my very humble. No, but I wouldn't say that. It really is. It is the single best presentation I've ever seen on marriage, as well as the sermon that you do on marriage.
You came to that one, sir. Yeah,
that
Genesis.
blew me away.
Yeah,
that blew me away.
Yeah.
I don't know when you're going to do that again, but I want to come hear it.
Yeah.
So
that was fun.
We start out, we have a good meal that's catered in, and then you give a little presentation, and then you play a game with the audience.
What we'll do is we're going to do the newlywed game, and it's just always a lot of fun to hear those answers. We try to get the youngest couple there, the oldest couple there, and some people in different phases of life, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just fun to hear and consider what's going on in our marriages. What was our first date? What were you thinking this? How would you describe your spouse? Those kind of things. So it's a lot of fun, and it's just going to be a fun night. And I try to emphasize on that first night, why get married? I mean, that's a great question.
Why get married?
Yeah, why get married?
And why get married?
Well, let me ask you this. Why did you get married?
Her dad had a shotgun, and no, it's not true. Why? Well, let's look at, because I've been divorced. So let's look at the first one, because the second one.
Okay, so this is before you were a Christian, right?
I thought I was, but yes, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was 18 years old, and I was rage against my parents, and I wanted to grow up fast. And what better way to grow up than be a husband? And I met a girl who had the looks, okay?
Drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, we got engaged like in a month.
And she loved the fact that you were a radio personality.
Yes. And we got married one day less than 6 months from the day we met, and we postponed the wedding twice. Now,
I know you got married fast. I didn't realize it was that fast.
Do you think we thought this one out? And I stood, I'll never forget this, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't mind sharing this because if I want the young people thinking about getting married to know this. I stood there with the pastor to my right and my groomsmen to my left, and at 10 minutes after 11, on the 3rd day of November in 1976, my bride is walking down that aisle, and I am thinking this. I got to get out of here. This is a bad deal. I'm not scared. I'm actually calm in knowing this is not a good marriage.
And you'd gone through a divorce already.
No.
Oh, yeah.
This
is the first one. Okay.
And I got married for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to put on my big boy pants, and I thought the best way to put on my big boy pants was to act like a father or act like a husband. Not a father, but a husband. We didn't have children for years later. And I can tell you, this is bad to say, but I blacked that out. I blocked that whole marriage out.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think most people in the world, and most of the people that are listening to this radio program, what kind of answer would they say?
Why did I get married?
Why should people get married?
Sex.
No, why not why do they, but why?
Oh, why should they?
Right.
Oh, because God brings you your soulmate.
God brings you together.
God brings you together.
It's not. That is the correct answer. I believe that's a correct answer, but that's not what most people say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They say... What most of the time when I ask people why do they want to get married is because we love each other.
Great. I love bananas too.
Yeah. Love has nothing to do. I'll never forget. I stood there.
Compatibility.
They asked me to speak at Drake one time, and I made that statement. You could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I said you should not get married because you love somebody.
Yeah. And the other thing is, girls, I love you. And I know you think you can fix everything. And there are many things you can fix. By the way, I've always said women are smarter than men. No doubt about that. But if you're marrying a bad boy that you think you can fix, you're wrong. You can't. Only Jesus can fix that. And if he's not before
missionary
you
dating.
Huh?
It's called missionary dating.
Yeah, before you ever walk down that aisle, you better see that boy's full-fledged salvation.
Yeah, now I got to give a disclaimer here too. When I made that statement at Drake, and I said, "What's love got to do with it?" Quoting the great theologian Tina Turner, "What's love got to do with it?" is really, in the big scheme of things, that feelings of passion and romance, it's going to fade. It's going to ebb and flow. It's going to come. It's going to be raging at times, and then it's going to be dormant at other times. And if we build our marriage around love, what do we do when we wake up, often on our honeymoon, and we roll over and we look at our spouse, and their bad breath drifts across the pillow, and suddenly those feelings of euphoria are gone, and as we realize that we're stuck in this relationship till death do us part, or until we can talk a judge into issuing a divorce decree. If it isn't based on something other than those feelings of euphoria, then it has a real high probability of not lasting.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to be in love with each other? Of course. Do we want to have those feelings of euphoria? Of course we do. Do we want to be doing everything to set up an environment where those feelings come and remain? Of course. But I will tell you that it doesn't always happen. And there are times when we have to look at each other. I'm choosing you this day for no other reason than God has anointed me and appointed me to be married to you till death do us part. And when you have that type of framework and you have that type of footing in a marriage, man, then that's when you have the best potential to have a lifelong happy marriage.
And you can tell the couples that have gained that. Yeah. We've got two ministers within our church. I believe one's a pastor and the other is a lay pastor. And they have both waited far beyond what their contemporaries have to get married. And it paid off because they found each other. And now I think they're in their 30s, but they're perfect for each other. And you know it. You can see it.
Right.
There's no doubt that these two people, God put them together. Truly put them together, because their marriage is based in Christ, not in lust or money or idols or...
Right. And then when you come at it with that perspective, you believe that God has anointed you to be together. God is the one that put you together. It changes, first of all, the stability of the relationship. It changes that perspective, because just like Adam, when he looks at Eve for the very first time, he realizes that she was created for him. He was created for her. It changes that stability. And suddenly now it's not a matter of, are we going to make it till the end? We are going to make it to the end because we're perfectly made for each other. Then we can ask the second question, and that is, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do in our life? I mean, God, take, for instance, you and CJ. God brought you together. He's anointed your relationship. He's brought you together. You're perfectly fitted for each other. You complement each other. Now, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I
don't know how I compliment her. Seriously, she compliments me a lot better.
No, yeah. Well, I can tell you where she is the polar opposite of you.
Yeah.
And in the way that she handles precision, she likes precision, she likes everything. You are kind of fly by the night. You love this kind of, you get on the radio, you speak from your heart. It's not scripted. You like that. You put CJ in that chair, she'd lock up.
She has never in 30 years come on the radio with me.
Yeah.
I think she called in once to wish me a happy birthday or something.
And she probably wrote it all out and scripted it.
Because she is so
she
smart.
Probably practiced it.
I would love to do a show with her and talk about marriage. Because when we talk about that in front of people, she's awesome.
Right.
But the microphone thing,
right?
You know.
She loves precision. Where you two complement each other. You're fly by the seat of your pants. She's precision. You put those two together, you have a couple that can go down a road together and enjoy life together. She's left to herself. She loses that spontaneity. She loses that frivolity in her life, and that's what attracts attracted her to you. She misses that. She recognizes that she needs a part of that in your life. What she brings to you, she brings us the precision. She brings that preciseness. If you don't have that, you're all over the place.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Her mom's been in the hospital now 30 days. And CJ has spent the majority of that up there. Mm-hmm. And when she's not up in Sioux Falls, she is fast and furious down here, getting the work done at her office that she needs to get done, sleeping as much as she can, because she's not getting a lot of that up there. So even when she's back here, she's really not here. And I'm really in a service mode. What can I do for you? What do you need? Let me help you with anything. Oh, I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that.
Now, can you imagine if you had that same precision in your life right now?
Yeah.
It would drive you both nuts.
Yeah. But we've never been apart this long.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I'm lonely.
Yeah.
I'm not lonely for you or anybody else. I'm lonely for my wife.
It's a good sign.
And me and the puppies. We just sit there. And here's what's funny. And if you're a dog lover, this will make sense. And if you're not, you'll think I'm crazy. But her little dog, Coco, is sleeping with me while she's gone. And if I use the MOMM, might have to spell it. He's not listening. If I use the mommy word, you ought to see that puppy look at me.
Yeah. Where is
he looks at me, and then he looks up the stairs, thinking that, okay, because if he's sitting with me and CJ comes walking down the stairs, I say, here comes mommy. Yeah. Here comes mommy. And he gets up and he's all excited, And now when I say mommy, he's just like, where is she?
And that's the way it should be. That's the way it is. That's by God's design. And God, when we realize that God created us for something, God created us, and he created you two with a purpose. And that's what we'll talk about on both of these marriage conferences. Why do you get married? Why did God bring you together?
Yeah, and when you are married, what are you really supposed to be doing for God? It's still about him.
Right.
We'll talk about that when we come back. Mike Hartwig, Pastor Mike Hartwig, from Marriage Matters Live here on 99.3. Because right here, today, this moment, in your ears, it's the truth. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs.
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
We're the ones in the pew, not pulpit. Come on now, let's reason together. The phone lines are open, so call 855-244-0077. Now, here's J. Michael McCoy.
Welcome, 22 minutes before the top of the hour, Salem Radio Network News at 4 o'clock, and then Pastor Mike Mudloff from Westkirk Presbyterian Church joins us for True Blue. Dr. Michael Hartwig is my guest today. We're talking about 2 marriage seminars that are coming up. One is at Living Faith Lutheran on Valentine's Eve, and the next day, yes, think. Oh, do you think it was accident that we put it on Valentine's weekend? Not. It's going to be the best weekend of your life. You know, I sat there last time. Well, let me finish. Living Faith Lutheran, and then at Honey Creek Resort, brought to you by a family-friendly church in Ankeny and Bondurant, down at Honey Creek, the 20th. No?
It's First Family Church in Ankeny.
First Family Church.
First Family Church in Ankeny. They're encouraging. They're taking the seminar down to Honey Creek and giving everybody a weekend. So that's what those. Yeah, sign up. You can check out
I said that.
No, you said Bondurant, and
they have a plant.
They have a church plant in Bondurant. Yes, they do. But anyway, it's First Family Church in Ankeny.
All right, fine. He's the precise one. He's precision. 20th and 21st. Now, Mike and I did.
And that's why I like your wife so much.
Yeah. Mike and I did one of these last year, and my part is minute, but I hope powerful. My part is a 45, 50-minute testimony to the men and a challenge to the men, and a challenge that they've got to either accept or deny right then and there, because they're about to walk in and renew their vows. And I challenge them to do something before they renew those. But you can't believe the power. First of all, Mike's very, very good at this, okay? It's precise. It's wonderful. He's a great storyteller. He's a pastor by trade, storyteller at night. He's just very good at this, and he doesn't waste your time with a lot of mumbo-jumbo. His wife is equally as good. She's a school teacher. She knows how to talk to little boys and little girls. And but you also play the newlywed game.
Yeah.
And who are the contestants going to be?
We're just going to pull them out of the crowd. So if you don't want to be, I mean, we know who we're probably going to have. We're going to get people that are interesting and fun and things like that, but... So don't come and thinking, oh, I might get picked. But
well, the bottom line is if you don't want picked, just make sure you go tell Mike.
Right. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's always fun because we'll hear from the oldest couple there, the youngest couple there, the newest, and usually, guess who usually wins?
The oldest.
The youngest.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
I wonder how. Don't pick us, but I wonder how we do on a newlywed game.
Well, do you know CJ's, let's say, favorite candy bar?
Yeah, it's a Almond Joy.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah. Go ahead, give me more. Ask me.
You want some more?
Sure.
Where was your first kiss? And don't say on the lips.
He's smiling. It was.
We woke up our producer. That's good.
Yeah. On our first date, I took her to do her favorite thing, which is one of my least favorite things, but she loves to dance. And so we went to a little out-of-the-way place and got him to play what was becoming our song, because we had time together before we dated, obviously.
Yeah.
We didn't have our first date for some time after we met. So that's where it was. And I don't remember the place now. To be honest with you, it's been torn down and gone a long time ago, but it was a little country honky-tonk on the south side. And we danced to Linda Love... No, hold on.
Linda Lovelace.
No, Linda Loveless. Patty Loveless. Patty Loveless. Now, I'm turning red, aren't I? And the song was A Little Bit in Love. Patty Loveless.
For anybody, anyway.
All right, so you don't ask me any more questions.
Okay, I won't.
fine.
I won't. But it's funny. I mean, we had one of those aha moments a couple of weeks ago. We asked a couple that came to us for premarital counseling, and I asked them to. That's one of their assignments. I asked them to go home and, without asking any questions from your future spouse, make a list of everything that you know about your future spouse.
Everything you know?
Everything you know, everything that you can learn. And I want to know everything. And I want to know everything. I don't want to know what their shirt size is, their shoe sizes, their pant sizes. I want to know what their first pain was. I want to know who their boyfriend was when they were, growing up, who their girlfriend was when they were growing up. I want to know the best Christmas present, anything and everything that you can think of. I want you to bring it in. And because it goes back to the passage in the Bible that says, for men in particular, it says, study your wife. That it's in that frame of mind. Study your wife. And I think a lot of times as men, we don't spend enough time studying our wives because, and it's interesting too, the way it's written in 1 Peter is it says, study, right? It doesn't translate very well into English because it just kind of says, study, and that you're done with it. And it's not the way it's written in the original language. The way it's written in the original language, it goes like this: study and keep on studying your wife. And so it's interesting too because men typically have a short attention span. Women.
What'd you just say?
Yeah.
Ryan, can you play that back?
Women typically are constantly changing. And so what'll happen is...
finally, if I could just... Okay, that's powerful. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah. So women are constantly changing. And so you put that in context of what's going on in 1 Peter, is he saying, study your wife and keep on studying because you're never going to come to end up knowing her.
Right, yeah.
What she says in one moment and what she thinks in one moment is going to change the next day. And men, if you don't recognize that, get extremely frustrated with that.
Well, but here's the other thing. Have you ever said that to Leanne?
Oh, well, yeah, right.
Don't say it to them.
Don't say it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you change your mind all the time.
Right.
Mike said on the radio. Right. That's a dumb thing, Mac.
It's funny because, I couldn't address this with Leanne in her face-to-face. But she came and she was moping around the house. And... so I knew something was wrong.
I bet she's got a cute mopey face, doesn't she?
I mean, she's just quiet. She's not talking or anything. And I'm thinking, okay, I screwed up somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. So, you kind of sit in your corner. You're afraid of, admitting something because you don't want to admit it because then you don't want to start guessing because then you're admitting to stuff that she doesn't know about. So, you just kind of play your cards, and eventually she's going. Well, she came out and she said, Mike, you frustrate me sometimes. What do you mean? You know how long that bacon pan has been setting out? I left it out there for the last 3 days just to see if you would clean it up, and you've not cleaned it up. And I'm sitting there thinking, I hate that. No, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I didn't even. First of all, I don't recognize it. Number two, I thought she left it out on purpose if I did recognize it. And number three, it's not that big of a deal to me. I really don't care.
Was it dirty?
Of course. And I fried some bacon a couple days ago. I thought, well, we were just going to use the bacon grease to fry other things in, that kind of stuff.
Really?
No
you really thought that?
That's what we do. Yeah,
You're
that's
a fool.
What we do. Yeah. But in her mind...
No wonder she has every right.
What in her mind, what it was it was a point of affection to her. It was a point of, hey, if Mike cleans this up, he cares for me and that kind of stuff. So I said, listen, I'm a man. Tell me what you're thinking. I'll do it. I want to make you happy. If you want me to put the pan... And then guess what she said? Oh, guess what a woman would say at that point?
Oh, it's okay.
No. If you loved me...
Oh, no.
You would know.
No.
You would know to clean that up. To which my response was, I do love you, and no, I don't know that. So I do what you tell me to do within reason. So if it would make you happy, tell me. I don't mind. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm afraid of screwing it up. So
did you?
It's pretty funny.
Did you ever hear the story about Richard Petty and his wife?
No.
Richard Petty marries a 14-year-old girl. Now, got to remember, this was okay back then. He's 80 years old, and this was 60 years ago, and from the South.
He was 80 years old when he married this girl?
No. He's 80 now.
Oh, okay.
He was like 18.
Oh, and
she was like 14.
Oh, okay.
All right. Which I'm just asking people not to judge because that was acceptable back then.
Okay.
And so they get married, and about a week goes by, and she comes to him and says, Richard, do you love me? Well, yes. Well, you haven't told me in a week. And he looked at her and said, honey, I love you. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
Richard Petty is the one that came up with that?
Yeah.
He's the original.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah, right.
When we come back, the last few minutes of Marriage Matters Live today. So, what would challenge you to ask your spouse to go to one of these seminars? We'll talk about that when we come back.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart. And it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you. From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
We've got questions. You've got the answer. Join the conversation. It's your voice we want to hear. So call 855-244-0077. Now, here's J. Michael McCoy.
All right, 10 minutes before the top of the hour. I want to remind you that 2015 is an exciting year for those of us here at The Truth, 99.3. At some point, we will be covering most of central Iowa as a radio station and be relocating our offices and studios into more of a general area in the Ankeny area. And so very blessed to have that happen. Don't know a date yet, but it has been approved. But sometime here in the next year or less, we're going to have a radio station that delivers God's Word throughout central Iowa and with studios right here in the metro. So looking forward to that. Been a 4-year process.
I know you've been working on that for a long time.
Yeah, that's what it takes with the FCC. You know,
really.
they make you jump through every hoop.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's role play. I'm the man and you're the woman.
Again.
And I'm going to be obstinate. Okay?
The man?
The man. I'm going to be you're going to invite me to this marriage seminar, and I'm going to be obstinate on purpose. And I want women to listen to this and know how to get their man to come to this.
You ready?
Yeah.
Honey, if you ever want sex again, you're going to go to this marriage conference with me. Don't do that. Don't do that. By the way, that's the first Corinthians says you should not do that.
No,
I mean,
no.
it's blanket thing right there that you.
So you asked me to the marriage seminar, and I say, "Oh, honey, our marriage is okay. Why do we have to go do that in front of everybody and talk about our marriage?"
Well, one of the things I would say, I would probably set the table to say, honey, you know, I really want to get it. I'm going to have an opportunity to get away with you, spend some time away from the kids or whatever, and just get away. And how about we go to this?
Well, fine, let's go fishing.
Yeah. Well, hey, if he suggests that, I would jump on that. If he's the type of guy that would bite on that, something like that, yeah, I would probably. But they're not going to do that in February,
right?
But you want to create an environment where it's open, it's fun, and I think we ought to do that. Most guys are, if you do that in a soft way and in a loving way, they're going to respond to that.
Well, and here's the other thing: you don't talk about your marriage.
What do you mean by that? Me and
no, not you and me. We do, but the people that come, they're not called out.
No.
Not one of them are called out to ask to participate.
No,
if they don't want to.
Right.
And I think that's very important for the men to understand. That's not a trick; it's the truth.
And here's the other thing you got to realize too: that most of the time we've intentionally tried to structure this for guys so that they feel welcomed. And I try to talk to the men. I think that's the big deal. And Leanne is there, and she talks to the ladies, and it just works. The thing that we get from these conferences that is better than some of the other ones that are out there. And there's some marriage conferences that are coming to the Des Moines area. They're bigger, have bigger names and things like that. But consistently, what people are telling us is that it's full of mumbo jumbo. It's full of psychobabble.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't hit people where they are.
It's a pep rally.
Yeah, right. It's a great way to. And if anybody who knows me, they know that I'm tremendously practical. Leanne and I are real. I wouldn't surprise me when we walk in and we have a fight in front of you all. But we'll show also. Leanne and I talk about that. We don't want to put on this fake air in front of people. Life is too short, and I don't think Christ is honored when we try to hide some of that, and plus I think there's a value in letting people show how to resolve issues in the process.
Yeah, I mean we had 60 couples at the last one, and not one of them was asked to speak.
No.
When they didn't want to. And the other thing, this is going to sound silly, but I'm a good guy food.
Yeah.
And plenty of it.
Right.
You got a good guy food. Now,
I kind of feel like I got a little bit of ADHD in me too. So I can't, and Leanne's a kindergarten teacher. So if you're not up moving and grooving every 20 minutes or a half hour, then we get nervous.
Jill King, who's a good listener and a friend of mine, says something women need to know and remember and do. No eyes, no ears. If he is not looking at you when you talk to him, he's not hearing you.
What? If he's not,
if there's no eye contact, there's no ear contact. If he's not looking at you, if your husband, the droopy eye, looking around, I know, I hear you, dear, blah blah blah. He's not listening. He's not hearing you. Look at him in the eyes, and then the ears will connect. The old grab his face and say, "Look into my eyes." And here,
I agree with that to some degree, and I would agree on that on the whole of it. But there are times when. There are times when I know that I'm getting an overload, and I can't look.
Okay.
But
you are listening.
Yeah. The way I would change that just a little bit is if they can't play back what you're telling them.
Right.
Then they're not listening.
Yeah. Tell me what I just said.
With the key to that though is if you come back and you say, "So tell me what'd you hear me say?" Well, that. Just a recipe for disaster.
Oh, so it isn't a good idea to say.
Well, no,
that.
I think it is, but it's all on how you say it.
Okay.
I mean, if you say, what'd you hear me say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to pick a fight.
So I want to make sure that I'm hearing what you want me to hear.
Right. There you go.
Tell me what it is you heard me say.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure that you're picking up what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm doing a good job communicating.
I want to make sure you're picking up what I'm putting down or something like that. But you do it real soft. You do it lovingly.
I have one piece of advice I always give a young couple before they get married. What's yours?
Mine?
Yeah. Do you have one that you always tell? I know you have probably many, but is there one?
Well, the funny one is, always ask yourself, do you want to be happy or do you want to be married?
Right.
Or be right. Sorry. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Right.
You want to,
and you want to be happy, not right.
Yeah, and there are times when you're going to feel like you're right, and you need to just let it go.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But the more spiritual
let
one,
it go, let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
All right, sorry.
And life, it's a bigger picture here than
that was from the movie Frozen, which you're probably not aware of because you don't have grandchildren yet.
No.
Okay.
And then the other thing I would say is, you build your marriage on God, make Him the center of your marriage. It's amazing how the journey that God will give you together.
Yeah. The thing I always tell a young couple, and the God thing is the most important thing, but one of the things I always tell them is do not do anything before you're married that you're not willing to do the rest of your marriage. Don't be the guy that jumps out of the car and opens her door until the day after the wedding. Don't be the woman who cooks these incredible meals and dresses in sexy clothes, and then that all goes away. Don't do anything before you're married that you're not willing to do the rest of your lives. It's not fair to the couple. All right. Mike, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. You're always welcome. Ryan, thank you. Tomorrow, Chris John, the atheist, the guy we have come in that we had just had the greatest conversations with, he's going to be here. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened in France with Charlie and what's happening across the land in Islam. And I'm just going to challenge him. Are you on the third side? Wouldn't you be better off being on the Christian side than being up against the Muslims? I mean, at some point, seriously? That'll be our conversation. Till I see you again, find that one person you have yet to forgive. Grant forgiveness to. Tonight, give it to him. Give the relationship to God, and then pray.